Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a whole nother episode of the Tenants as we continue the grind of becoming the biggest, baddest slumlord of all time. Is that the right terminology there? Slumlord? Landlord, I mean, obviously, but we are kind of slummish in a way, right? We do things that, you know, aren't necessarily great sometimes. But welcome back. It's a pleasure not to be with you here today. Thank you for returning and hanging out with me for, you know, for the next half hour. You know, I was looking at the roadmap before I hit record, and, you know, I don't know why, but I was sitting there wishing, like, they would have an expected release date for some of the updates. It's very unfortunate. Hang on, let me turn down the volume real quick. It's very unfortunate that we can't get, like, an expected release date for updates. You know, things are how they are, but, like, give me a month. Give me a month or two. Be like, yeah, this update's coming in May-June, or this update's coming in June-July, or maybe this update's coming in and just flat out July. Just give me something to work with. The fact that I have nothing to work with, it just feels like I'm a little bit in the dark. Of course, I'm not in any forums. I'm not in any of their discords. I have no idea what's going on when it comes to that stuff. I'm not up to date on their Twitter, and that's, you know, probably my fault. In all seriousness, but you know, I like to expect you guys to know, and I know it's like, yo, I'm doing your job for you, forehead. Well, yeah, you're not wrong. I guess you could say it that way, but you know, it is what it is. Anyways, if you guys have, because I know that some people, like, especially for this game, people are very passionate about the Tenants, and rightfully so, right? Let me see. What the hell? There we go. I almost forgot how to rotate items in this game. And rightfully so, people should be passionate about this game because it's a fun game. It's a great game, for sure. And so I like to think that people are so heavily involved in it. And I do multiple games on this channel, so I'm like, I can't, like, focus my attention on one thing all the time, right? It'd just be too much time out of my day, especially when I do this as a hobby. That's just so much, right? Anyways, so sometimes I kind of lean for you guys and your efforts to be like, oh yeah, you know, the dev said this, and we should be expecting this, you know, X date, and that, even something small like that, really helps me out, for sure. When I do this renovation, this job, we've done this 100 times, right? I feel like I do it the same way every single time. Maybe I should change it up. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's go ahead and add that. There we go. And then add this. I know, like, I could have shift clicked a long time ago, but it is what it is. I'm fully, you know, engaged here. Not like Axel Foley from Beverly Hills Cop, starring Eddie Murphy in the, you know, the 80s, the late 80s and the early 90s. Great movies, by the way. If you've never seen Beverly Hills Cop, starring Eddie Murphy, I would say it's like some of Eddie Murphy's best work. And it's weird because, like, I watch, you know, Beverly Hills Cop, and then it made me like, not a lot of movies do this, right? Not a lot of movies do this, but it kind of made me wanting, like, more. Like, I want more of Eddie Murphy. and like, you know, you could be like, yeah, you could go throw on some Shrek. No. I don't want no Shrek Eddie Murphy. Look, I want Eddie Murphy in his like prime. I want to see him, because, like, the cop style Eddie Murphy is a good Eddie Murphy. It's fun. It's energetic. I have a lot of fun with it. It's all good, right? It's all good in the hood. So I was, like, wanting more of that. Not like Dr. Dolittle style. Even though I'm not saying Dr. Dolittle is a bad movie. I'm just saying that's not the kind of Eddie Murphy I was looking for. Anyways, like I said, if you haven't seen Beverly Hills Cop, I would recommend watching Beverly Hills Cop if you are into, like, those cop kind of movies with, like, the 80s style and the 80s decor. I really love, like, 80 theme. Well, I mean, I say 80s theme, but that's literally when the movie was, or movies were filmed, was in the 80s. So Yeah, I really like seeing back then, like practical effects in the movie that they had to do, because, you know, maybe CGI wasn't the best. They didn't have technologies for like cell phones and stuff. So like some of the plot ways of the movie is kind of funny, because it's like, oh, you could have just called them. You didn't have to like go to a phone booth. No, they couldn't just like casually call them and stuff like that. So that's fun. I like seeing that kind of stuff for sure. Of course, like the different cars, in that movie is great. The comedy is easy and relatable. You might be asking, like, what's your favorite not your favorite Eddie Murphy movie? What is your favorite Beverly Hills Cop movie? Now, if you know me, you might know me. I might have talked about this for a long while. If you really know me, you know I'm a little. I have a thing for theme parks. I really like theme parks. It's funny that I have never done a theme park let's play on this channel before, because I'll be honest with you, I'm afraid of criticism. No, I'm joking. Slightly. No, I'm afraid that I'll goof it up in some way, because I'm not the most artistic person. So I'm not or the most creative person. So like when it comes to like building crazy looking things, I'm not really good at that part of my, I'm not good at that. And so when I build things, like when I build parks and stuff, like it's just, it is what it is for the most part, right? I enjoy it, but other people, I don't think they would get really angry with me. Anyways, yeah, so I'm really into theme parks and stuff like that, and I'm not going to spoil anything, of course, because if you've never seen Beverly Hills Cop and you are drawing interest of maybe watching it sometime in the future, you know, HBO has it, all three of them, if you want to just go ahead and look at that. Not HBO Max, not HBO Max. I don't think HBO Max, maybe not. You could, I didn't check there, but I strictly just used HBO to watch the movies. And it seemed, you know, it was all good. However, my favorite is going to have to be Beverly Hills Cop 3, the last one. And that's weird, because it's like, you don't necessarily, like, when you think of like trilogies and stuff, well, actually I take that back entirely. I was gonna say, when you think of trilogies, you don't think of like, oh, the third one being the best, but like maybe you do. Like, what do you think is the best? Beverly Hills Cop 3? I find that was the best. A lot of people probably disagree. I mean, the first one's really good too. So the second one, I tell you, the second one was just, it was okay. It wasn't for me. Like, I kind of lost interest halfway in the movie, which, if you lose my interest, I'm not, you know, it's not a good day. Token, is that like actual like poker chips? That's really cool. Yeah, so I would say watch all of them in order, right? For sure. And take your time with them, of course. Let me see here. Like a little, yeah, like that. Gramophone. But anyways, yeah, as I was saying, like it's a fun trilogies. You know, Return of the Jedi, right? episode 6. That's a great one. I would say that's probably one of the best ones. I know A New Hope is like up there. And you think of like the god awful prequels, right? The episode 1, 2, and 3. Out of the 3, like, Phantom Menace is not bumping. We already know that. We know Phantom Menace is not bumping. But out of the 3, I would say Revenge of the Sith, the better one, right? The better one out of all of them. If you would disagree with me, there's something wrong. It's funny because like Danielle really likes Phantom Menace, and I try to explain to her like, don't, but she doesn't get it. No, she's okay. She can like whatever she wants, you know. Anybody can like whatever they want. I'm just saying it's not for me. Anyways, yeah. So the third one, Beverly Hills Cop 3, I like it. Theme parks it's heavily like half of the movie is a theme park, and I like it a lot. Spy Kids. You can think of like Spy Kids 1, 2, and like Spy Kids 3D. Look, Spy Kids 3D, terrible movie. It's just terrible. I don't know what to tell you, dude. I remember as a kid, like Spy Kids 1, it was good, right? I can't remember. Oh yeah, Spy Kids 1 was good. Spy Kids 2 probably was my favorite out of all of them. Spy Kids 3D, what the hell? Like, it was a good concept. It's just not like, it didn't hit for me, right? So like when you think of like Spy Kids 1, right? That's when they have like the thumbs running around, right? The freaking thumbs, dude. As a child, that scared the crap out of me. But it wasn't too bad, right? It wasn't too bad. Spy Kids 2, that's when they what? That's when they went to what the hell did they do? They went to the island, right? Where Steve Buscemi was. Is that who? I think Steve Buscemi was the crazy professor on the island. Great actor, by the way. One of my favorite actors, Steve Buscemi. And if you don't know who Steve Buscemi is, think of like almost every, maybe not every, maybe just think of like think of a lot of Adam Sandler movies. Think of Crazy Eyes, Mr. Deeds. Think of Boardwalk Empire, Nucky Thompson, stuff like that. That's Steve Buscemi. Anyways, he's on the island, and I really like the fact, like I found it fascinating that Steve Buscemi had like a little map, or the professor had this map, and like he had like the miniature size animal, or you know, creatures on this map, and that they would show up in real life on the island itself. I don't know why, I found that very fascinating. I also found it very fascinating when in the movie, you know, they're heading to the island, and like I think one of the kids, they order a Big Mac. Dude, that inspired me. that moment hit fucking different, I'll be honest with you. As a kid, of course. But Spy Kids 3, I remember as a kid, when Spy Kids 3 came out, and I was like, oh, you know, I was like so excited. I was like, oh, dude, there's another Spy Kids movie. Hooray, the Spy Kids 2 was so good. And like the advertising for Spy Kids 3 was like really, really overproduced. Well, I would say the marketing, they did their job. Let's just say that. And they tried to market the hell out of this movie. And I remember this was obviously before like Netflix. I mean, maybe not before Netflix was a thing, but maybe before Netflix. Well, it was before Netflix was like mainstream, and you know, internet wasn't very mainstreamed at all as it is nowadays. But I remember going to my local video store and renting, right? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you might be just too young for me entirely. And I've checked my demographics, right? My demographics, it's like from the ages of 13 and 17 is like 1 to 2%. Anyways, yeah, so I went to my local video store, rented Spy Kids 3D with my grandmother. And back then, it was very weird. Like, you could do that, right? No problem. But for this movie in particular, they wanted you to, They wanted you to rent the movie and then rent the 3D glasses to watch the movie, right? And who knows, like, who remembers like how crazy it was back then when we thought we were getting something special when they said you can watch a 3D movie at home. Now, obviously, that's like not a freaking thing. So we took the 3D glasses, right? And we took the movie, and we took it home, and we put it on the we put it on, you know, we put it on the big screen and everything, and we started watching freaking Spy Kids 3D. And we pulled out these cheap glasses we got from the video store. So disappointed. 1, the movie. 2, the 3D glasses didn't even work. Like, you just expect anybody's TV at home to kind of... That's clipping through the wall, isn't it? You expect anybody's TV to work the magic of 3D power. Now, I don't know the what is it? I don't know, like, the technology or what it takes to produce a 3D film. I don't know if you need something special, or literally you can use any screen in the entire world and it will be fine projecting onto the screen, I should say. You just need to have the glasses. I don't know if it was because, one, we had the cheapest 3D glasses of all time. It's not like I went to a Blockbuster and got this. Dude, I went to a freaking like mom and pop shop. Like, nothing wrong with the mom and pop shop, of course, but I'm just saying that was the like level tier of video store I was at. I wasn't at no Blockbuster. I wasn't at no Hollywood Video. I was at, you know, I was there. I was at that mom and pop shop. Who knows? I don't know if it was the movie itself just really sucked for 3D at home, or if the glasses sucked. Again, I don't know the technology behind that. But that was like the most terrible experience of a movie, renting a movie of all time. After that, I sat there in disbelief. Probably like the first time I ever been disappointed as a child. I sat there in disbelief and just couldn't believe what the hell just happened. I was like, really? This... Okay. I put that movie down, never watched it again, maybe until I was in my teenage years. And I was like, you know what? I'll watch this again. I'll give it another shot. I'm not doing 3D, you know. I'll just watch it the way it was meant to be watched. In that, there is a couple actors that I do like in there. Except, again, the movie just didn't hit. It was just a bad movie. It just wasn't good. And then I think they came out with like Spy Kids, you know, Spy Kids Different Children. I don't even know what the name of the Spy Kids movie was, and I did not watch that at all. By then I was like, I'm old enough not to make myself look stupid. And so I never did that again. That was my Spy Kids experience, of course. And I say that loosely because like now it's like, I don't know if you guys noticed, like as like a preteen, you know, we all watched shows, right? We all watch kind of different shows and whatnot. I just realized that if you ever watched as a preteen, maybe as a teenager, whatever it may be, like certain shows, like there was Zoe 101, there was iCarly, there was Drake and Josh. Drake and Josh is a banger, by the way, even still today. But I just found out that they are kind of reproducing one of those shows. This is actually new. I've never seen this renovation before. You might be saying, what are you talking about? They are reproducing one of these childhood shows, and they're actually making it a grown-up show. So if you've ever seen iCarly, they are making a grown-up version of iCarly with the same cast. Like they have the same cast, right? I don't know the names. I mean, I know Miranda Cosgrove, but that's all I got. I don't know the other names. But they're making an adult version, which is like crazy. Because I watched a trailer on it, and it was like, it was funny. It was actually really funny. Not like the comedy in it, but like just seeing them and what they were doing was funny. And they were just, you know, they're just like bantering back and forth, and like in the trailer, one of them actually uses a curse word, not like a heavy curse word, not like, hey, never mind. But they didn't use like a heavy curse word, like they said, ah, damn it, or like maybe son of a bitch or something. And then they're like, oh, you want to go get some beer? And they like go into the fridge and they crack open a beer. Like what? Like this is the new iCarly? Like I think that is something that is crazy to think about. Like taking these small, like you know, these once childhood shows and turning them into the grown-up shows is like a crazy cool idea, but at the same time it's like kind of scary. It is a little scary. Because like, what about the kids that still like maybe watch iCarly, like actual kids, and then they see like, oh, you know, she's grown up and now she's drinking and now she's, you know, she's cursing like a sailor. I don't know, dude. I don't know. But it would be cool to kind of get like an adult version of like Drake and Josh. Like I would love that. Like I would love to see Drake and Josh kind of curse up a storm and maybe crack open a few beers. I think that would be some good quality entertainment. I don't know, dude. All right, so there we go. We got the bench. That's an expensive ass bench. I should probably steer back on that bench. There we go. There we are. There we are. Fantastic. Trees. Yeah, we need the cheapest trees, please. Just kind of like scatter them all over the place. I'm not really worried about it. I might have put too much. Okay, take back a couple trees, then put in the shrubs. Scatter these a little bit over here. You know what? Like the big shrubs, like big baddies. Bam. All right, great. There we are. Let's go ahead and send that off. Let's deliver that. Yeah, so adult shows of kids shows, that's a freaking like idea, dude. And that's a pretty fun idea. You know, some people could be like, oh, dude, it's gonna like ruin my childhood. Probably. Probably. But I think it's okay. I think it's all right. It's okay for change. Now, we did flip over the month, and I before we flipped over the month, you can actually rewind it if you want. But I will tell you what I saw. Before, we had $93,000 before the month flipped over. We only got $125,000. So you're telling me we only have like... No, that's not right. So yeah, we don't. We have 41 grand coming in every day. Now, I don't know why it did that. It could be just because certain things. You know what? This is the time to like kind of like not get polite anymore and start demanding. Well, as I remind him politely, start asking for money, because we're not even worried about happiness anymore at this point. We're not worried about happiness. We're worried about getting our money now, because we've did that. We've passed that. We don't need to worry about that. And I'm actually gonna head on over to the slums and politely, demandly, remind people they need to pay their bills. Absolutely, they need to pay their bills. I have a dog going crazy behind me. She's like lifting up her bed. She's underneath her bed. Her back itches. It's 102 degrees today. She's hot. She's bothered. I don't know what's going on. All right. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'll get it to you right away. Yeah. You will. All right. Anybody else that owes money today? Because I did not get all the money I needed. Really? One person? That was it? One freaking person? That was it? All right. All right. Well, I guess, I don't know, dude. Let's head back. Yeah, so it is going to be interesting once and finally the Manhattan update does come out. I think we will be in for a treat. But, you know, I don't want, like, the next update. And maybe that's why, like, everything is kind of, like, gone ghost on us, like, kind of quiet. Is maybe they know that... What the hell is the dog doing? Excuse me. Excuse me, miss. What if someone's at my door and they're like hearing me yell at the dog in a very polite way? I don't know. I might have to take care of this. I don't know what our deal is. Anyways, what was I saying? It was like... Maybe why they're going ghost is like the fact that this first like real update that added things, dude, I didn't even like try to fix that. I didn't try to fix that apartment with the earthquake because I keep telling my agent to handle it. Anyways, they might be taking notes back, right? Like they're probably thinking like, we want to do another update, but we do not want to do another update where it's going to kill our workload, in the sense of, hey, what you done did is you updated the game and you broke everybody's game. Now everybody is upset. They probably want to avoid that in this next update, so they're probably taking a more cautious, more what is it, taking more time, really just taking more time in general, just to get it all done and taken care of. And if that's the case, I like to believe that's the case, and if that is the case, I respect that. for sure, because again, nobody wants updates that are gonna break their games. Nobody wants anything like that, because once you put in the time and you invest all this time into the game like this, I tell you what, it's not fun going back to a game that you can't play anymore. Like, just because what your time, it's like wasted time. Granted, you know, it is what it is. It's a game that's in early access, but I feel like this game has a strong backing to it. And I feel like this game has a strong dev team to go along with it. So I think this is something that can be prevented going forward for sure. All right, let's plaster that out. Thank you very much, Uncle. Let's let you go out of the. I guess this is gonna be a laundromat. Is that what I'm assuming? Yes, exit the premises. We're gonna have so much stuff in our storage. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, there's gonna be an. Oh, sorry. Did I say laundromat? I meant a gym. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the gym. She in the gym tonight. She's not with Jim tonight. She's in the gym tonight. Never mind. I've been watching too much of literally crap. Oh, yay. All right, so do we have a negotiation? We do have a negotiation on Oral Lake. Hell of a lake. Let's go do that. Do that. Yeah, do that, and then finish it off with a nice little tiny dumbbell. There you go. Barbell. Have you ever lifted up a barbell in your life? Dude, I don't know. I have actually a few times. I say a few times, actually quite a bit of times. Because that was actually one thing that you had to do in physical education in America. High school, in American high school. You had to do some barbells, some treadmills, some workout benches. I don't know how that is. I wonder how physical education is in like different countries. Like, is it to that extent, like where you guys have to go into the weight room and you guys have to like do your tests in there? Because we had to do tests and stuff like that. Like, how much reps could we do on this? We had to actually make a criteria, not like we had to meet a criteria, which was you had to get X amount of lifts in this, or X amount of miles in this, or X amount of push-ups, or whatever it might be. I mean, granted, it's called physical education for a reason, but like, I don't know. Is that different in other countries? I feel like it might be, might not. I don't know. Maybe it's more intense in other countries compared to us. I don't know, dude. Alrighty, there we go. Sports room. Let's go back to the garden decoration. Very quick, very easy. Put out like a, holy crap, that's not what I was expecting. I was expecting a little bit smaller gnome, but this is a gigantic gnome. We will have 3 gnomes representing the Three Stooges, which, by the way, is another movie I just recently have came back and watched. Like the Three Stooges, like the Three Stooges, the up to date kind of Stooges, right? The what is it? Dude, I don't even know any of those actors' name, because they're like not well-known actors, but they did a fantastic job at it. Anyways, I like shows like that. I like some good humor. And after I watched, like, good innocent humor, I should say. After I watched the Three Stooges, I went and on Amazon Prime Video. I think actually HBO had Three Stooges as well. Anyways, after I watched the Three Stooges, I went back on Amazon Prime Video to watch like the actual Three Stooges show that was like filmed back in the 40s or 50s or something like that. 40s maybe? I think 1947 if I'm correct. Because I really like practical effects. Like like I said, if you've watched me for a very long time, you kind of know that I like practical effects. And I just love watching stuff that's not CGI, that's like not fake. And it's kind of like one of the reasons why I like watching, god damn, I knew that was coming. It's kind of one of the reasons why I like watching older movies. Like, you know, I like the musical Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, because I like it better than the Johnny Depp, because again, the practical effects, stuff that they had to use back then to film, and stuff how they had to negotiate, like how to do things and how to make things look real, just really fascinates me in a way. So when the Three Stooges back in 1940, you know, who knows? I'm pretty sure it was 47. Back then, like, they had to, like, for sure, do a lot of, you know, it was cool. Like, it was really cool, but like, some of those guys were really doing stunts back then, and I think like some of those guys were really getting hurt. But they were doing it all for the show, which I just find, again, fascinating. Anybody, like, any actors that are doing like their stunts on their own is actually, like, it's super cool. And that's kind of like one of the reasons why I was such a big I was such a big Chris Farley fan growing up, because I know he didn't do every single stunt, but he did a majority of his own stunts. And whether it be Saturday Night Live or any of the movies he was in, he was the one doing the stunts for the most part, right? Not all the time, like I said, but for the most part, for sure. That's one reason why I always loved Chris Farley and his comedic, I guess, comedic act. He was so good at it. Rest in peace, by the way. Anyways, that's gonna do it in today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today on some Tenants action, and mostly just like BS in action. But if you guys did, it would really, really mean a lot to me if you hit that like button. YouTube has updated their copyrights and their moderation for children. And I feel like it's impacting channels across YouTube right now, and the views in the arrivals of new people are just not how they were a month or two ago anymore. It's unfortunate for sure, but you know, you just got to keep going on and keep trucking along. So I'll see you in the next one, and do take care.